Hey, welcome back to the TVC Collector. This is another video that we're going to look at sales prices and things that are going on in the vintage collection this will be from April 20th to about April 23rd, so over about a 3-day span. A lot of vehicles that sold in this time. So we got a little bit of plethora of everything, but a lot of vehicles. So let's take a look at starting out with this vintage collection BC361 Jorah Sabaoth. So this was from the Heir to the Empire 3-pack that came out with Admiral Thrawn and Captain Pelion and Jorah Sabaoth. This is a really, really cool figure, but $80. Wow, $80.55 shipped. So these were unpunched and they're very mint. So especially the one that I got out of my 3-pack, it was very mint. So anyway, that's what it went for, was $80.55. It looks like they're going to continue to make, characters from the Heir to the Empire uh, trilogy of books and stuff. So they recently announced the Luke, which is a clone of Luke, I should say. So anyway, that one's coming out and is up for pre-order now. If you haven't already pre-ordered it, you can get it at Hasbro Pulse or Big Bad Toy Store, or I think Entertainment Earth, any of the fan channel exclusives. But anyway, this was a nice figure that went for a pretty hefty price. Next up, we had another Assault Tank Commander. So this is VC-148. This is the commander, not the driver. This one went for $86 with shipping included, and it did come with a protective case. Now, a lot of these had like a ripple effect to them. You can see kind of this line that goes here. They're not really creased. It's almost like they were stored in a warehouse that was damp. And so these cards on these guys do have a little bit of a ripple to them. They're just not super straight and super flat. And you can see there's a little bit of damage here to the card, which again came from the factory. So a lot of these have had that. And you can see here there's a little bow to this, but still they were short packed. So this assault tank commander, this is what they go for, 86 bucks, 90 bucks, 75 bucks, anywhere in that range. So that was another one of those guys sold from Rogue One. This was interesting. This was a Rogue One Darth Vader from Rogue One, but it was signed by, I guess Spencer Wilding was probably the actor who played um, Vader in the actual suit. I'm just guessing that. I don't know because I didn't look it up, but at any rate, he autographed this, and so this one was listed for $100, but the best offer accepted on it was 50. So that with shipping, that was $60, and that's pretty good because the autograph alone probably cost that, not counting the figure, and it does come in a protected case. So I thought that was a pretty cool little item there for somebody who's a Rogue One fan. Another one that we had was the General Grievous Matthew Wood. This one was autographed by Matthew Wood. This was sent into CAS and they did the authentication on it, signed by Matthew Wood. The card score was 85, the blister 85, and the figure 95, so an overall 85 plus CAS. That's a really cool piece. So that was 130 plus another 9, so $139. And just the grading on this, it was probably $100, let alone, I don't know what Matthew Wood currently charges for autographs. I got his autograph way back in 2011, 2010, and it was a different time back then. I think I paid like $50 for his autograph on one of my General Grievous figures. So God only knows now they're probably up in the 100 to $150 range. So anyway, whoever got this got a steal of a deal because, like I said, just the grading alone for that is probably about $100 by the time you paid for shipping to CAS and back from CAS and all of that stuff, and not counting the figure itself. So we know those General Grievuses, even the punched ones, they can go for 60, 75, $80. So super good deal on whoever got that. Congrats. Next up, we had a prototype armor exclusive to VC61. This was the mail away figure. It did come with the original box. So it looked like it was a pretty nice, crispy clean. And just so you can see here, he posted the picture. This is the way they came inside of the white box. They had a piece of cardboard over the top of them just to kind of keep it from getting dinged up too much. And most of them were in pretty good condition. The only bad thing was is they mailed them just like this in this box here. So I had several of them that I had mailed away for back in those days, and a lot of them were mint, but there were a few where this white box was damaged. And if the white box was damaged on the one side, then that's the side where the card laid on the back bottom of the thing. So it was fewer and far between. They wasn't, I wouldn't say the majority of them were damaged, but you could get one, when you had rough postal workers back in those days. But anyway, this went for $90, and this one looked really crispy and clean, and I don't see a whole lot of damage on that. Little bit of white paint scrape right there, but that's again common for 1.0 figures. And this right over here on this side, I believe, was just a reflection from the light from the camera. So that looks like a really clean, nice crispy. Like if AFA was to grade that, it'd probably get a 9.0 or higher. So $90 on that guy. Next up, we had this was interesting. This was a VC19 Clone Commander Cody, and he even says the box is rough, or box rough. So you can see down there, there's quite a bit of damage to that, and I think there's even some blister damage down here. So that does look like it's got some blister damage, but even still, the thing sold for $109. I mean, I can only assume that someone who bought this is going to open this, so they didn't really care about the damage. I mean, look at all that paint scrapes. It looks like it kind of got wet or something. So, and you can see here the card bends up, but Commander Cody, he's not cheap, at least not until they re-release him, which they probably will inevitably. They just released the Obi-Wan and the Airborne Trooper was a 387th or 337th. I can't remember what his regiment number is, but at any rate, it's inevitable. I'm sure that they're going to do a new Clone Commander Cody eventually on the new clone body or the updated clone body. But still, this is a great figure. $109 for a rough one. That's a lot of money. And then compare that to this VC19. Now, this was the foil version, and this one looked pretty clean. But this one went for $118 shipped. It did come with a protective case. The protective case had a little bit of tape on it, but the figure itself inside looked really nice. So I didn't see any major damage or any major flaws with this. So this was a nice clean sample. Looks like the card straight. Don't see a lot of damage to the edges of the card. So that was a pretty nice one. So 118, yeah, $118 for the foil one versus $109 for a really rough one. That's interesting that happened. And anyway, it's always nice to go along with the Clone Commander Cody when we get the VC16 Obi-Wan Kenobi. This one went for 95 plus 9, so what is that, about $104 shipped. Here again, this one had just a slight little ping up there, but nothing too terribly pronounced. So, sitting inside of a case or even an acrylic case, if you put it in here, it displays very nicely. So that's the VC16 Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next up, we had an Anakin Skywalker. This I thought was actually a relatively really good deal. First and foremost, he had $100 listed on it and $11 shipping. Well, the best offer accepted on it was 85. So 85 plus another 12. I mean, that was less than $100. What is that, like $97? And this card looked pretty decent. So this is the VC13, and where I'm going with this is the acrylic case is $25 just for an acrylic case. So you know that's a good deal for $99 to get a VC13 Anakin Skywalker, not the Darth Vader, but the Anakin Skywalker in an acrylic case. The person did not say that the acrylic case came with it, and it didn't say it in the description either. But I mean, it's obviously in the photo. So if it didn't show up with the acrylic case, I would be contacting the seller saying, hey man, you advertised this with an acrylic case, but I'm sure it does. So again, being $97 for this with an acrylic case, which is $25, that means you got the figure for 75. So I thought that was a pretty good deal on that. So congrats to whoever got that. This one went a little bit high. This was a Lumat. Unpunched, really love these. VC 104. This is one of the few that Hasbro has not re-released, so they have kind of held their value up there pretty high. But typically we see these go for 125 bucks unpunched. So this one went for 163, excuse me, and $6. So literally $170 with shipped. So even though it was a nice sample, I mean, very nice sample, you can get these cheaper than that. And this went on bids. So a couple of people got in a bidding war, but I mean, you can usually find these top end maybe 140, for one of these and unpunched with on a buy it now. So I would kind of keep that in mind when you're looking for one yourself. This one was through the roof. We just covered a rocket firing Boba Fett last week, or on the previous video, VCPO3, and golly, I mean this one went for $216, almost $217 shipped. You can get this figure for much cheaper than that. So I'm not sure what's so good about this golden, I guess that's an auction house or whatever. They seem to be doing things on bid. Maybe they have a lot of followers, but you can get this figure for a lot cheaper than that price. I mean, congrats to them on whoever, they sold it, but if you're looking for one, I'd be in the $125 range for this. We've seen them anywhere from 95, 85 without the white box, up to 125. So they're really not that expensive, but you know what? That's what that one sold for. So moving on, then we had a really, really, really nice one. So this is the Canadian, North American, South American multi-language pill VC64 Revenge Leia. So this is not the return, this is the Revenge. You can see the multi-language in there. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the French and Spanish but anyway, I have both of these. I have the Return and the Revenge myself that I got from cases back in those days. Sent them both to AFA, got them graded. They're both 9.0s. I was really pleased about that. But at any rate, these guys are really, really expensive. This was listed for $500. That's Canadian dollars because this was in Canada. Um, the best offer accepted on it was $400 in Canadian, and I did not do the math to see what that turned into, but let me just do it real quick and see if I can figure it out real quick. What is 400 CAD to USD comes out to about 292.33. So 292.33 plus whatever shipping was, we'll just say it's going to be over 300 for that, and that is a really super nice unpunched. I mean, I love these. This is probably my most favorite from the 1.0 line is this figure here with the multi-language pill. I have the American one that's not multi-language, but I really really love the multi-language pills. Those are just so cool. So at any rate, $300 USD was the best offer accepted on that. So congrats to whoever got it, and it looks super crispy clean with a protective case. Next up, we had a whole group of the HasLab figures, the Tonica sisters and all. So $420 shipped, and you get it in the box. This is the way they came shipped. So they came with a nice piece of cardboard there, and there's tissue paper separating the cardboard from the card so that they didn't move around and get rubbed, rubbing paint rubs on the card. So Hasbro really outdid themselves on this one. This was a exceptional way to pack these. And I wish they would do all of them that way, including the ones they include with vehicles and so on and so forth. But there you go. There's $420 for five figures. I mean, you're talking at, what is that, about 40 and free shipping. So about 45, no, 80. I can't even do the math. It's been a long day so far. So not 50, but yeah, you can figure it out. 420 bucks. That's cheaper than again just getting the tonicas like we've seen. They're going to consistently go between 125 and 150 a piece. So if you get them 150 a piece on the top end, that's $300 just for those two figures right there. And then the rest of these go between 65 and 85, for the rest of them. So when you buy them all bundled together, that you're going to get a better deal on them. So nice congrats to whoever got that. And then getting into some of the multi packs that we've looked at before. Here's another one of the Imperial officers that went for $100. I looked mine up just to see to remind myself, and these were 65. They were $65 shipped from Hasbro Pulse when they came out. So here again, these are on the rise now that they're out of stock. The Snow Troopers, same thing. They were 65 shipped from Hasbro Pulse. If you had a Pulse Premium account like I do, you got the free shipping. Anyway, these went for $80 for a set of those. And then this one was 3 packs of those. So somebody was definitely army building there. And this was pretty much in line with retail. So you got 180, that's 60 a piece. So, and that's again about what they retailed for plus the 17.95. So this person actually got a good deal as opposed to this person paid $20 more for just a single pack. So, anyway, congrats to whoever got that. Nice, very nice win there. And then on this one, we had the Bantha with the Tuscan Raider, the new Tuscan Raider. That is an unpunched card. Really cool. It's got the barbell hips so that, he can ride the Bantha accurately. This guy went for $90 plus another 23. So what is that, about 113, I believe, shipped. Really nice package there on that one. This was interesting. This was the Jabba the Hutt throne room, but it was a sealed case of two. So these typically go for about 90 to $100 if you just buy the Jabba the Hutt, and maybe you might pay shipping. So anywhere from 100 to 120 is where I see them. But being that this was a sealed case of two, I actually have one of these because I did order two from Hasbro Pulse, and that's what they came in, was this box right here. So I have the box as well. But yeah, someone paid 375 plus another $32 for shipping. So that's about a little over $400, 405, whatever it is. And I would imagine they're probably going to send them to AFA to get, graded uncirculated because it's, factory sealed. So that would be my guess. Otherwise, there's really not much reason to buy two of these when you can buy a single one for, 100, $125. And if you bought two, that's 250. But someone wanted the actual sealed case. So either they wanted to hang on to it and just to have it, or they wanted to send it into AFA and get graded. But I thought that was really cool. And then that compared to here's one that is graded. Here's another one of these from Jabba's Palace Collectibles. This is really cool. This is AFA 85 Near Mint Plus that he sent one in and got it graded. That is an awesome, awesome piece just to have one in an acrylic case like that. $180 plus $30 shipping, so 210 shipped. That is a super really cool piece. I mean that is, and plus this one came with again the 8D8 and the Salacious Crumb, the VC66A, because this is the official Return of the Jedi versus the VC66, which was the Revenge of the Jedi's Salacious Crumb. That came with the San Diego Death Star, San Diego Comic Con Death Star set from back in 2011 or 2012, I can't remember. But at any rate, that figure goes for a lot higher. It goes for 500 to 600 bucks versus this one comes in this pack. And so anyway, that's a really cool piece to get graded just to have. Somebody wanted to keep one factory sealed. Another one of these that sold was the bunker. This was a great year, 2023. I don't know how many OT fans that can complain about 2023 because we got some really cool stuff. We got the Jabba set. We got the Jabba Denizens 4 pack that came with Squid Head, which is Tezik, and then the Velkan Taziri and the other guy, I can't even pronounce his name, Dagum or something like that. But at any rate, we got all of those figures in that 4 pack. And unfortunately, it was another re-release of Reese, which we've had like 3 times. But at any rate, all of that came in 2023. We got the Vader, VC280 Vader, which is with the Sebastian Shaw with the helmet off. That's one of my favorite figures from 2.0. Again, I got mine graded. It came back with a 9.0. Was really pleased about that. But here's the indoor bunker. I'm talking about everything except for this indoor bunker. This one came. It got an 85 as well, near mint. And this one came with the figure, the indoor Rebel Commando figure. I sent that figure in and got it graded and got a 9.0 on that. So I was really happy about that. But this would be a cool piece because these guys are not super big, and neither is the Jabba playset that we just looked at on the previous one. They're not super big, so the acrylic is it's not like a ship. So I'm just guessing This went for 160 plus 40 shipping. So here again, 210, same as the Java, but you could put these on the shelf relatively easily to display them, and that's a cool piece to keep those mint for all the days of their lives. Next up, we had another one right along here, 2023. This was the speeder bike. This one got an AFA 90. Excellent, excellent. That is near mint. And once again, this one came with the speeder bike. This is the original 96er card. This one, I got mine sent in, and I got a 9.5 on that. It was so crispy, pristine. So I was really happy about that. But here again, this is a 90. Man, that is cool. And these are very small. I mean, they're not even probably, I'd say about a foot long, about 12 inches long. So not hard to display at all. They got a 90 on that, and there's 110, $135 shipped. So that's a really cool piece. I I I'm jealous because I wanted to buy some of this stuff, but again, I've got so many other things that I buy and pre-orders that come in and things that I've sent to AFA to get graded. And, you can't nobody can buy everything. Here was an interesting one too. This was a Boba Fett Slave One spaceship. This was the Amazon exclusive, and here again, this one was graded. This was graded 8.0 uncirculated, and this is the 2013 Slave One. So this one does not come with the stand like the when they re-released it, but it's pretty much the same ship. And the Empire Strikes Back. So I thought that was interesting. Somebody sent one in, got it graded. It got an uncirculated 8, which to get that uncirculated grade, you had to send in like we looked at the Jabba's playset. It was a box of two. I'm assuming that's the way they came, either a box of two or a box of three, and they got them all graded. So this one sold for 225 plus another $42 for shipping. So what are we looking at? Let's say 270 by the time it's shipped. So that's an interesting, nice piece. Another one got graded. Here's the B-wing. The B-wing fighter got an 80 plus, the Kmart exclusive from 2011, and you can see why it got the 80 plus is here. Some of the box was not perfect, but it definitely was better than a real banger and beater. So, but hey, you know what? It's forever in acrylic now, and somebody got a really nice one. These ships go for 250 to 300 ungraded. So to get this for 350 graded, I thought that was an excellent deal, because again, we see these regularly for anywhere from 225 to $300 depending on the quality of the box that it is and whether there's shipping involved or not. So, congrats to whoever got that for 350. That's a really nice piece. More from the same seller. This was awesome. This is the Snow Speeder, the box art. Oh man, that is just so awesome. ESB, only at Target exclusive. I have this. I don't have it graded, but mine's mint. I got it right off the shelf at Target when they came out. And I'm wanting to say this was 2010, I believe. It will say on the label. I'm pretty sure that they were 2010. But at any rate, it was graded AFI, yeah, 2010. There you go. There's the label. AFA 85, excuse me, getting tongue tied here. But 275 plus another 40 for shipping. So um, that's about what 315 shipped on that, and that is a super nice P. When it comes to vehicles, 90 is rare. So AFA 85 is just about as good as it gets. We saw on the speeder bike that they got a 90 on that one, but that's definitely the exception, not the rule. So AFA 85 is really, really good. That is an awesome, cool piece. And then getting away from some graded stuff, just regular ships back to regular ships. We had an N1 Starfighter sold for 125 plus another 4 shipping, so $129. This again comes with the unpunched. On the box, it shows that this is a punch figure. It's actually unpunched, so that Mandalorian figure is unpunched. I sent mine in, got it graded. It came back with a 925. I was really happy about that. Here's some ones that we don't see too often. This is 2012. This is in the 1.0 line. So the V19 Torrent Starfighter. They got one bid on it for $100, so that's 109.80 shipped to your house. That's really cool. And I like here again with the Clone Wars and prequel stuff, I don't mind like the Darth Maul stickers. I think that's appropriate when you have prequel era stickers on prequel era vehicles. What drives me nuts on single cards is when I have like a Wedge Antilles with a Darth Maul. It's like, man, that just drives me nuts. But hey, if it had a Boba Fett sticker on there, I'm fine with a Boba Fett sticker. But I like prequel sticker offers on prequel vehicles and stuff, and vice versa, OT on OT. But unfortunately, it didn't happen all that way. Here is a Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter, Revenge of the Sith. This one went for 150, almost what is that, 172.23 shipped. Really cool from the same seller. So here again, a couple of prequel vehicles. He only showed one side to this box. I'm assuming that the other side was pretty minty. Don't know if it had the Darth Maul sticker on it or not, but we don't see those pop up too often, and so that's pretty cool. Next up, we had another Toys R Us X-wing fighter. This is the Toys R Us 2011 exclusive for 140 plus 20 ship, so $160 ship for that one. And this one did have multiple pictures, and you can see down here in some of these pictures there is some damage to the box. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not something you're going to get an AFA 85 like if he was wanting to get one graded. So, but still, 160 bucks for that ship. Here was a Darth Vader's tie. This is awesome, the tie advance. This one comes with the Darth Vader with a brand new card, unpunched, in the purple. It's like a purple, I don't know, violet colored backdrop. Really cool. And it looks like it's the scene where he's standing around the Tarkin's office talking to him, and I really love this one. So that one went for 154 free shipping. Here is a 2010 TIE Fighter. This was the Target exclusive. Again, I bought one of these brand new off the shelf. I think it was $39.99, I believe, is what it retailed for, maybe $49.99. But at any rate, they were under 50 bucks, and I'm pretty sure they were 40. But this was a little bit on the high end, in my opinion. This was 175 free shipping. I mean, we have seen these. You can get one of these for 110 to 125. But this, to be fair, this box did look pretty pristine, so it was a really nice box. So that's what that one went for. Then next up, the TIE Interceptor. Now this one was constantly 300 bucks. So, and this one went for more than three. It went for about 310. And he did say that the box is very, very clean. I mean, you can see there's a little bit of paint scrapes right there. But for the most part, there's a little damage right there. So, but overall, I mean, you could drop that in an acrylic case and it still presents very nicely. And so 310, these guys have just held their value. That's a beautiful box art, remnant of the or reminiscence is what I'm trying to say, of the old Kenner TIE Fighter box art. So very cool there. We had a couple of ghosts. Again, if you're in the market for a ghost, now's the time. These again cost $541 if you had a Pulse Premium membership with the free shipping. And so these things are going for $501 free shipping for that one. This one was $520 free shipping. So they are consistently going for less than what they cost new. So if you're looking for a ghost, man, now's the time to buy them while everybody is focused on Razor Crest. This one went for a little bit more. This was $475 plus almost $100 shipping. So that's about $573, I think is what that went for. But still, $573, that's only $30 above what they originally came out price wise. But most of them are going for around 500. So good time to buy a ghost. Get yourself one. And lastly, we had another Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This, we've seen a lot of these lately, especially with the shipper boxes. So here's another one that was $850 free shipping. Um, Very nice. They didn't post. Well, there you go. There's one of the actual pictures of. I don't know if he took it out of there. Maybe he took it out of there and took a picture, or if this is just a generic picture. But anyway, it's you can see it's not a perfect. If this is the actual one, or he might have just copy and pasted somebody else's picture. So anyway, that's what they go for. $850 shipped. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at a lot of vehicles. Seems like not very much in carded figures right now, at least in this little time span. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the little bell button for notifications, and that will give you notifications. Hope you guys all have had a great weekend and keep buying that vintage collection. We'll catch you on the next one.